Man, it's like there we go. We are live. What's going on, Jennifer? Lady?
Good morning. How are you? It's like you are getting. I told you earlier. You are getting like full fledged today. Like I've been up for like 3 hours. Lots of caffeine. So not sure how today's going to go, but I'm here.
It is going to go fantastic. And actually, I feel like we're cheating a little bit because it's a continuation conversation.
Yes.
Right. From the last live stream, which was freaking awesome. We had a lot of great comments from the tribe.
We had like questions set up, and we like the first question 45 minutes in, we never got to this, we were just talking about the second question. It was a lot of engagement for sure.
Yeah. And so today the theme of the conversation is why taking risk is the fastest way to grow. And we got some monster questions today for the audience. Mm-hmm. But before we get into all of that, Jen, can you help us with the housekeeping?
Of course I can, because I know there's people out there that are seeing us and going, these people have all this stuff going on. What's going on? Let me click. And then you have some of our, tried and true that are kind of, coming in, got their coffee. They're ready to see how this conversation goes. And then some of you that have probably been here and have been paying attention, you just haven't engaged with us. And so we don't know you're there unless you engage. And we're trying to give it a very easy commitment is if you are out there and you haven't engaged with us before, and maybe you're watching us for the first time or you're coming back, if you will put a blue heart in the comment, like that's it, just a blue heart, because what that does is that gives us just a signal, hey, we have a new tribe member that's showing up, and it lets us recognize you, but it also lets our No BS tribe see that we got some new people in, and so they can love on you and they can follow your content and connect with you and everything else. So blue heart just lets us know you're there. We're not asking for anything else. If you want to engage with the questions, we very much welcome it. And every time you put a comment in, it gets you into the randomizer. And Jesse, what is the randomizer?
The randomizer is a raffle that we will do at the top of the hour. Again, like Jen said, if you drop your question in the comments, drop emojis in the comments, drop your wisdom and your cheat codes in the comments. Yes. And that gets you into the raffle. We will do it at the top of the hour, and the winner gets a 1-month pass to work on some skills that most people, I'll think this way, that will make you freaking nervous. It'll make you squeeze your cheeks because we talk about real stuff there. So fair warning, you know that's what's going to happen. So leave your comments just like these amazing people. Maya, what's going on, my sister? Oh man, I had an awesome call with her with Crew Collab this week.
Nice.
It was so there was a great group with the Job Corps and a whole bunch of other folks that are in the Crew Collab thing. Super awesome.
And if you don't follow Maya, like you need to follow her. Sure, her content, she does amazing things. So like you've got to follow her.
And she's a freaking she's the executive director of Crew Collab, and she's an amazing photographer. Like her pictures.
Yes.
And then we got Miss J Mar. She's sending blue hearts. What's up, J Mar? She's out there solving dehydration with passion. Oh my God, we got a bunch of people coming in.
I know. Good morning, Jeremy.
What's up, Jeremy?
We got Jeremy and Adam connected like this last couple of weeks, which is really cool. So super excited.
Really?
Yes.
Well, I'm going to hear about that, I'm sure. We got Steve Martin says good morning from the beautiful Connecticut.
Yes.
Who else? There was some other folks at the top. We got faithful Jim Guntorius. What's up, Jim? And Daddy Hoots, you just mentioned him. He said, what's up, fam? And then Abdul, I think Abdul might be a first timer. So if you're a first timer, drop a heart in that bad boy to signal to everybody that you are down. Oh, look, we have another.
Brent, good morning.
What's up, Brent? Oh man, he just had his episode with the Old Dog Leadership Podcast.
EI, emotional intelligence. There's some good stuff in there.
Oh, yo. And then look, we got a blue heart. Mr.
Good morning,
Ben.
Ben. How are you?
Oh man, then we got Nick, another old dog member. Great topic.
Yes.
Looking forward. Yeah, man. Same.
Yeah.
All right, folks. We'll keep the comments coming because we're gonna have fun. And let's just kick them in the gut. What do you say, Jen?
I think that's a great idea. So the goal here is we're going to talk, y'all are going to talk all in the chat, and then we're going to bring y'all into our conversation, and it's going to be a party.
Yes. So here's the first question
Okay.
to chew on is what is your need for certainty costing you right now? Jen, can you give some context around risk, the question, the idea?
Yes. And so our last show, and again, this is a carryover, is we talked about what is not taking risk costing you. And so that was kind of more of the what's not happening. And so today the shift is take the risk and here's what you're going to get. So it's that's the shift of today's conversation. And the question itself is a lot of times because of some people perfection paralysis or the status or the credibility or all the things that you worry about and you are concerned about, you allow that to dictate your next step. And so you're trying to protect something. And in the protection of it, you are keeping yourselves from things that maybe don't exist, maybe are a little scary, maybe are unknown. And what we're going to talk about today is what's the real risk of you taking that step, doing something that, okay, it may not be perfect, it may not be great, and it may be even a failure, but what happens after? And I think that there's a lot there that we're going to talk about. And that's kind of this question is in your mind. Sometimes the risk or what it's costing you is only in your mind.
Yes. Actually, my brain is bouncing everywhere.
Okay. So
I forgot to tell you, Adisu, who is a lurker, he watches replays. He comes checks out regularly. I had dinner with him the other day, and he says, "Man, you got to tell Jennifer that I just love her on the stage. I love how she all bounce back and forth." So there, Adisu.
Thank you so much.
I told her. Yeah, I like this question specifically because the need for certainty, right? And what's funny about it, it's like control. Mm-hmm. Is we think it's permanent and it's not. Yes. And the need for it overweighs what it actually can provide. And again, just like you said, there is sacrifice that happens. Not sacrifice. There is loss. You are losing something. I am losing something when I'm letting that need for certainty or control, when I'm letting it get in the way of making a decision. So I'm wondering, Jen, have you ever had a need for certainty?
I feel like you do it on purpose. You throw it at me. That's okay. It's going to come back to you in a minute. Yes, absolutely. And that for me, the certainty was reputation and recognition and making sure that I was doing all the things that everyone else was expecting me to do so that I kind of knew what was next. And for a long time, that was my career of here's the path, here's what I need to do. And don't get off the path because you don't have as much, you don't have as much credibility. You don't have as much experience. You don't have all the things that you need to be able to take that next big step because the people around you are so much smarter. And the people around you have so much more knowledge and understanding of what this industry is. So you just kind of need to, stay in line. Don't push too much. Don't jump too much. Don't jump out of the box too much because you don't know enough. And that literally and again, a lot in my mind, but also too, I was learning about a new industry. I was learning about a lot of new concepts and things like that. And because I was in that learning, growing mode, in my mind, it's I can't do anything until I learn it. I can't do anything until I have mastered it. and that I have got it figured out, so that if I go in rooms and I start talking about things and there are other people in the rooms that maybe have a little more experience or knowledge, then I mean, what credibility do I have? Like that to me, one from speaking, one from like going and talking about my experience and my knowledge. And those of you that have not spent much time with me, my brain makes connections really quick. And so I may not have all the knowledge, but if I'm in a room and I'm hearing Jesse talking and I'm hearing Jeremy talking or Sarah talking or Adam talking, and they're talking, my brain is making connections. And it's like what the next question is, or what, oh, I can see how these go together. That's how I function. Well, that's like a big deal, because not a lot of people function like that. And so when I realized, like, by me being quiet, I was hurting the room. I was hurting what could happen, because like things that I was seeing, what no one else was seeing. And so then we left there, and it was causing us to take longer to get to somewhere or to try something else. And that was, for me, the cost was like, it was expounded, because I didn't have confidence enough to say what I needed to say. Yeah. And it took me a little bit. Running into Jesse helped a whole lot. And now I, again, by just me talking and asking questions, and even yesterday on Cultivation Crew, like pushing almost too far, but pushing and asking questions and challenging people. I've seen so many people like just go, okay, they're just going to do it. Or there's not a reason why they're not doing it. They just need someone to call them out on it.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I love it.
Well, Jesse, because that's my answer.
Yeah, no, I think what's important is to help people understand, like, I think it's just part of the human experience. And you just articulated that. You've been in rooms where same person, same human being, and you just chose not to because you had this hang up in your head. Which, when the way I translate what you said is, which caused you to underserve.
Yes.
Because you weren't, like, you were holding back.
Mm-hmm.
And then you did, and the sky didn't fall down. And actually it was better than had you not shared your thing, even with the same hangups. Like, they're still there. Mm-hmm. You just decided to take action. And like, totally get it. And again, my main point is, I think it's important for people to hear that, because some people think, well, you've always had it figured out. Like, it's easy for you. Like, no, it's not, man. Like,
I'm still figuring it out. I'm just a little better at maybe talking before I have it figured out.
Yes. Oh my God. All right. So we're going to go to the comments.
Okay. Yes.
Our sister, Sarah. What's up, Sarah? Who just launched a big, massive next step, and she's launching more. So y'all need to keep an eye out, because she's cooking up something really powerful. And then we got our brother Milo. What's up, Milo? Coming in from the OKC. All right, so we've got some really good comments. So Maya says, I definitely used to need that certainty. Now I am thinking and realize I am pretty much flying by the seat of my pants, but that comes out of, number one, my faith being strengthened. What do you think about that, Jen?
Well, Jesse, you and I'm going to summarize the way we talk. We say the same thing. You and I talk a lot about body of work. And that's what I feel when I heard what she just said. She's now relying on like what she's done and what she has, and the strength of her being able to be in a room and not have all the answers and not having experience with everything, but she's relying on that strength. And you and I talk. We talk about that in your body of work. And if you can go in and you have a body of work, all of us have a body of work. Like there's no one, if you're in this industry and you've been working, you've been doing something. And that body of work is the pool that a lot of times you bring things into conversations, you reference things, and we undervalue the body of work, because we second guess it, or it doesn't compare to that, or we don't see, I haven't done that. And so we undervalue our bodies of work and what we've done. And when we get to a point where we can own it and swim in it, you literally can come in and go, I don't know any of that, but let me tell you what I do know. And it changes the dynamic of the conversation.
Yes. So two things. One, what I like is she says, but that comes out of number one, my faith being strengthened. Now, I've had this argument with several people, or debate, we'll call it a debate, where like they kind of view faith as an on or off thing. I view faith as it's always on. It's just a matter of what you have faith in. Like, do I have faith in my ability, the gifts and talents that I've been blessed with to impact people's lives, and me learn and work through something to figure it out and deliver what I want to deliver? Is my faith stronger in that, or is it stronger on the fact that I don't have the credentials, I don't have the body of work, I don't have the certifications, nobody's going to do it, it's going to fail, it's never going to work? So you're having faith either way. I am faithful in that I have what it takes to be successful, or I am faithful in that I can never accomplish anything. That's my perspective. That's how I see it.
For faith and failure. I got faith I'm going to fail.
Yes, because you're practicing it, right? I mean, it's just like worrying. Worrying is like praying for what you don't want. Why freaking worry? Like, there's no value. Again, that's just how it is.
Yes.
Right now, in terms of like certainty, Costi, you talked about body of work. I remember, what was it, 6 years ago when I got the like lightning bolt that, Jesse, you need to start your own business so you can spend more time doing the things that bring you fulfillment. And so I did a real quick exit plan. It was money wise, but I was like, man, I need to build credibility so that when I start my business, so that I can start my business on that credibility.
And people will pay you for something.
Yeah. I didn't think I had credibility, right? Like, I didn't think it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then, so I had a plan, right? I took a different job to transform the culture on a big national brand, and that was going to be like my launching pad of credibility, la, la, la. Well, concurrently, you and I are doing freaking live streams.
Yes.
I published a couple of books. And then all of a sudden I discovered, like, oh shit, I already have credibility. So there was this like certainty that I needed for whatever reason about my credibility that I wasn't aware that I already had. So back to the body of work, right, is I think of it, for me, it's like this, my life's experience, and I think this is true for everybody. My life's experience is extremely valuable, and I undervalue it because I've lived in it, and I just think it's simple standard shit. But what's obvious to me is not obvious to everybody else. And so kind of embracing that and adding my perspective and saying, like, I don't know nothing about that, but here's my perspective on what you said, or here's what I do know about this B and C, has added value and contributed to the thing. So totally.
I want to add, before you go to the comments, I want to kind of hone in on something you said, because I think it's going to be valuable to the audience. Yes, you talked about you didn't see it early, and then we've been doing all this stuff. And those of you that are out there, you've probably seen Jesse pop up on your screen on TikTok, on Instagram, on LinkedIn, on Facebook. Like, he has got a lot of stuff out there, and he continues to refine it and do stuff like that. So I just want to make that out there. So Jesse, because they see you very confident in front of the screen, kind of talking, and you're doing a lot of things, you got it all figured out, right?
100%. It's part of the 600-year plan, Jen. I am exactly on target for my 600-year plan.
So everyone else, and once you have your 600-year plan done and you're ready to go, then you can launch it, because that's right, you wait.
Absolutely. You don't even think about launching until you have at least 600 years planned out. Otherwise, you're going to fail. No, I don't have it figured out. No, I just have learned and have faith that if I take the next rightest step, not right, because right is relative, right? Right is like, I got the information that's available to me is all I have to make a decision on. Now, here's a fun one. If more research is going to give me all the answers, do I really want to do that thing? Because if all the answers exist, somebody's already done it.
Right. The research means it's already there.
Do I want to do that? Right? Like, I don't, some things, yes. Most things I do, no. And so I want to do something unique to me, unique to the person in front of me. I want it to be memorable and impactful. And if it was available, it could have freaking GPT'd it or Googled it already. So I'm going to have to take a risk. I'm going to take the next rightest step. And what's happened, no, and folks, in case you missed it, I don't have a 600-year plan. I don't have it all figured out. But by taking the next rightest step, the path reveals itself. And here's a beautiful thing. Sometimes the step I take is bad. Like it was bad decision. But I know instantly, and I can shift right after I make that decision, right after I take that step. And so for me, I have extreme faith. And that if I continue down the path, I will be making the progress I want, or I will learn what I need to avoid going forward, which means momentum action. Sitting there and thinking and contemplating and wrestling and like, I'm not making any progress, and I will never know. The answers I am seeking are on the other side of action.
So what I heard, and this is how it computed in my head, is risk and does not equal go and research what everyone else has done. Risk, you're getting your research in the trying it and failing it and adjusting it. You're getting research. You're just doing your own research based on experimentation actions.
Yeah. It's an experiment. And actually that's kind of the thing that's helped me a lot. Because I do feel like, oh man, this is going to take time. This is going to take resources. You know, I'm going to cash in some social capital. And if it doesn't perform, I might disappoint. Like that's real. Like that's all a risk. Mm-hmm. But I treat it as an experiment. Like this is what I think is going to happen if I do these things. Let's find out. Instead of, oh my God, I got to produce this thing where 1,000 people show up and everybody loves it and there's nothing but 5-star review. Like, no. I don't know. Let's run the experiment, see what people respond, learn, adjust, and go forward. So again, I just think of it like my business is an experiment. The way I interact with people is an experiment. The communities and all the things I'm involved with, the conversations you and I have on these live streams, they're an experiment. We don't know.
We have no idea who's going to show up. Jesse, I want to say, so again, I want to celebrate. Jesse and I have been doing live streams for 4.5 years under no BS. We did them 6 months prior that with Lean in Love and things like that. But for 4.5 years, we've been doing them under no BS, which in Jess, what was our goal, Jesse, when we said, well, let's launch this thing and see what happens? What was our goal?
Yeah. The goal was to impact one person.
One person, one life, one decision, right?
That's it. One person, one life, one decision. And I'm I think I could say with confidence we've accomplished that. Right? Like had we gone to like the traditional kindergarten metrics, I think this whole experience would have been a hollow, empty version of what it is.
Yes.
And so with the focus on let's just impact one human being, what does that mean? All we really need is one person to show up. And if we pissed them off and they said that was garbage, we could count that as having impacted them, right? So it was just like, come on, let's be for real here. Yeah. And then now we've got all these amazing people that come hang out with us on Saturday morning.
Yes.
And so I'm going to need the Omniverse to join me in chastising a couple of people. So Sarah, shame on you, Sarah. You only have a 1-year plan. My goodness, how unprofessional. You don't have a 600-year plan. And let's celebrate Maya because Maya says, okay, her plan's better now. The timeline, 600 years feels doable. See, she gets it. She gets it. And if you're coming in like just now, you're like, what 600 year? What kind of weirdos are you talking about? It's a joke, man. I don't have it figured out. I'm just learning and growing. Now, our brother Nick I love this. Nick says comfort and certainty feels good in the short term, but hurts in the long term. Like it feels good right now. But like the thing about comfort and certainty for me is it's something that is in the past. And so for me to have certainty and comfort, like I've already vetted it, approved it. And if I just stay in that, I just stay in that. Like there's no forward proof or maybe there is, but it's smaller, right? It's not as amazing as it can be running experience and doing stuff. Now I also got to say, I don't have the same life most people do. It's just me. I got no dependent, so I can take a lot of risk and run a lot of experiments. So I completely understand the apprehension of running fast and loose. So you don't have to go sprint, but just run a little faster and a little looser is kind of my advice. Mr. James Camposano says certainty has a price. Agreed. For me, the question is whether we are paying more for certainty than the risk is actually worth, which is similar to the question that Bernard asked yesterday on the cultivation cruise. Like, how do you know when? There's a point of diminishing return, right? Certainty does have a price. And I got to make a decision. There are some things it's like, ooh, I don't know. Okay, I know what this will do. This is going to cost a lot more to find out. Maybe I just go down this path and stay here, which is fine. But I think that's a really responsible way to look at it.
And I would just want to add that we're not saying certainty is bad. We're not saying comfort is bad, because you and I, in the way we function, there's a lot of times, again, you can go, and you can be change, and it can burn you out. And it can make you be doing 10,000 things instead of 2 things. Like having that rate of change and that constantly wanting to go and what's next. There have been conversations even between you and I where I've had to go, I've now got to be able to sustain what I put in place. I've got to make sure I'm checking it and let this sit for a bit to see, is it good? Is it right? Or do I need to make some tweaks? So again, we're not like anti-certainty and anti-comfort. It's that when you live in that space to the point to where I'm good and I don't need to think about anything else, I don't need to change anything else, I've accomplished what I need to accomplish, it can keep you from like the greatness that's inside you. And so like we understand there's seasons sometimes of when you have put a big thing in place, you have to kind of sit back and see how does it feel and is it working before you can kind of take that next big step. So just wanted to clarify.
Yes. Love it. Solid. We got Jeremy Blair who says, I am into stepping into the uncomfortable. It's critical. Fear gets people. I enjoy crossing the line to learn occasionally. Totally. Like, I think that just echoes what you said, right? Like, get out there, shake it up, let it stabilize, come back, get out there. Like that makes sense. I'm sure, rather, I'll say it this way. I'm guilty of hyperactivity that I like to qualify as continuous improvement. Bullshit. I just like new shiny things, and and my guys, my team. I remember one of the guys like, oh shit, what book did you read this week? Because I had a new idea. We're gonna try to like, oh man, what did he read this time? Because now there's a new thing, and it felt to me like we were constantly improving. But when I sat back and looked at our performance, it was going down because I was injecting too much variation, too much change under the premise of continuous improvement. I was not, rather, I'll say it a different way. I was not allowing for stabilization. And so the risk of being hyperactive is you wear people out and you kind of get lost in the sauce.
And I think we talk about some things on you can't do things to people. And I think it goes into this vein of when you're in continuous improvement, when you're in this mode of change or risk, you're not doing it to people. So let's be clear. If you're trying to do something that's going to be sustainable, that's going to be impactful, it's going to be transformational, y'all need to be doing it together. It needs to be a team effort trying to make this big shift, this big change. It's not you doing it to them.
Yes, agreed. That's a major thing. If you want it to stick, if you just want to frustrate yourself and everybody and let it die in 60 days, then just do it to everybody, because that's what'll happen. That's certain.
Yes.
Sarah says tomorrow isn't certain. I think what I would regret if I don't go after this 100%, right? Like, that's the thing for me, is I need to know. Good, bad, or indifferent, I need to know. I don't need to wonder. Wondering is regret for me, and that is a very unhealthy place for me to be.
When we talked about that last week, like risk versus, instead of, most people risk reward. If I risk this, do I get this? But what we dug a little deeper on, but if we don't risk this, what are we going to regret later that we can't go back and fix? We can't go undo.
Yeah.
Can't go back and try it again. Like, if we don't take the risk.
Yes. Look, so Doug Barry says, work through the risk, the learning. Success is waiting on the other side. Welcome back, Mr. Douglas, who we talked to at the after party last time. That was awesome. And look, Sarah's announcing it to the world. She's going to be posting about change fatigue. Yes, all the things Jen said. Yeah. Look, here's another one. This is a dangerous confession. We are related. I agree.
I hang out with both of you, and you are.
Look, who else we got?
Here we go.
She says, joining late, but already loving this discussion. Yeah, it's a fun one. So let's see what the next question is.
Okay, because we have more. Like, believe it or not, we have more questions.
Doing good. So next question is, and this is massive. What part of your identity would you have to release to take the next step?
I'm going to you first. I'm going to you first, just so you know that. So again, Jesse, you've talked about the evolution, and you've done it on some of our previous live streams of like where you started versus then going, like all your evolution to get to where you are today. But there were some things that you got hung up on a couple of times, on just like that identity or that role or that position, title, things like that throughout, and then how that could impact you making money. So like, for you, what was something you had to like intentionally go, I've got to let that go to be able to move on to this?
Yeah, there's a bunch. But first, I want to shout out Steve Martin. Steve Martin, being the hashtag continuous improvement genius. My plan is now 599.
Yes.
Yeah, we started a trend. 600-year plan. That's the only way to do it. It's the only way to live. In terms of my identity, there's so much of that over the years. What's the best example? I'll say this. I'll start with like a stinky example and then kind of a motivational example. The stinky example is, everybody knows, and if you don't know, I'm an addict. I'm 10 years sober now, but the majority of my adult life, I've been on probation and wrestling with substance abuse, addiction, all these things. Now, I'll say like in my teens and 20s, my need to maintain the identity I had contributed to my substance abuse. Meaning, I had a reputation for being the crazy guy that gets naked and runs down the street and, does outlandish, obnoxious things all the time. And I loved it. And because I loved it, I replayed it over and over and over again, which turned into me getting arrested, building addiction, and all of those things. And so in order for me, and it took a long time for me to like break free, like take that anchor off of me, I had to let go of the reputation, the identity of being the crazy, fun, party, wild guy, right? Like I had to and I love, like it was dumb, right? It's like, Jesse, this does not serve you. I'm like, yeah, but I love it. It's so awesome. So I had to let go of that and really fear, like, well, if I don't do that, will people still like me? Will people still want me around? But it really became a question of like, okay, how much more money do I want to be paying to the state of Texas, and how many lives do I want to continue putting at risk to maintain this reputation or that identity. And so I had to let go of that. Fast forward to, this was about 2 or 3 years ago. And, you know, I've been doing my business just over 4 years now, maybe, yeah, 2 or 3 years ago. In my head, the value I was delivering was my, you know, my knowledge of all the concepts and the words and the, you know, terminology and all this crap. And so I approached things that way, right? When I was doing my facilitation, I favored this. Rather, a different way to say it is, what I really care about is helping people on and off the clock. And the way I think about all of the stuff that I know is, how can I translate it in such a way that you can connect to it personally? Because I know if you do that, it will generate business value. But now I'm a consultant and has his own business. So I have to be businessy, right? I have to be corporate.
You have to wear pants.
Yeah, I had to wear freaking pants, man. And so I had a conversation after a session I did with the big group, and one of the managing partners, I'm like, all right, man, like, how'd it go? How far off track? Feedback. And he's like, dude, it was amazing. I'm like, okay, cool. He says, and he just kind of said it. He's like, man, I need you to know, like, I know you know the stuff, and everybody that peddles the same crap you peddle, y'all all use the same words, the same language, same vocabulary. He said, what I needed from you, you accomplished it. I said, okay, what was that? He says, you got my people excited. You activated my people because of your down to earth, not like rugged, I don't know what they call, professional, unfiltered, dirty, messy style of delivering and interacting with people. My group was able to connect with you. And I'm like, oh, and I'm trying like hell not to let that come. I'm not trying like to not let the south side come me in the room. And then I find out like that was the bigger value. And I was like, oh, okay. Similarly with like the live streams, Keon, I've had the conversation with Keon, you know about this. Keon was like, we didn't know each other, but he listened to the collabo sessions that me and Felipe were doing. What he liked was the way I say things, and just casual, offensive, a little bit arrogant, irreverent, like, and yes, all of the above. And so I had to let go of my need to feel polished, which I know probably people are like, what in the hell? You've never looked at. For me, it felt that way. To just be a little rougher around the edges and have confidence that it would work. And it has. And so I had to let go of these things of what I believed a business owner was or presented as, and fully embrace or like stop downplaying, you know, just my natural way of interacting and engaging with people. And it's been massive ever since. That's my answer, Jen.
Well, I love that. And I've gotten to see a lot of that growth and a lot of you letting go of some things, but also just going, okay, we're just going to see what happens. And I'm going to say, I think it's been successful.
I agree. Oh, look, Jeremy says it well. I speak blue collar when needed. It's my native language. Yep. Look, Gloria says, not sure I could put up with a fake polished corporate version of I agree, sister. Like, totally. And, you know, even my polished version is really not very polished.
He takes a shower. Let's just be clear.
I take a shower. There you go. That counts. I'm going to say that counts. Oh, my goodness. Oh, we got some good comments here, Jen.
We do.
All right. Let me go back to the comments here before you might get off the hook on this question.
Let's see.
So Brent, my brother Brent says, the thing that used to paralyze me was, what if I make a bad decision? Yep. Over time, I have learned that you just go to the next decision. Most things are not permanent. Oh my God. Yeah. There's very few things that are permanent, like for real, for real. Now, we replay shit in our stuff in our head, right? We replay things in our head, and which makes it feel permanent. But the magic is we could stop replaying it. It's entirely up to us. James brings another one. He says, I learned that sometimes growth means releasing the need to be certain and trusting my ability to navigate what comes next, right? Managing the risk without eliminating it. I mean, my assertion
that's
is
magic. That's magic.
Yeah.
People that can just navigate what comes next. Like, I feel like that needs to be something that is put in on a billboard somewhere. Like, if you can navigate what comes next, like, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Right. It doesn't matter. Yeah, 100%. Miss Kirby says, I'd have to, or am working on releasing the literal nickname of the perfect child. Right. And so this is around identity. Here's oh man. Okay. Thank you, Kirby. There's some thinking out there that everything happens for a reason. I do not subscribe to that thinking. I believe we assign meaning to everything that happens. Which also, like, what happens along with that is we adopt or subscribe to things that our people, our environment label us with. Mm-hmm. And because we are a meaning making machines, we can change that. Like, we don't have to be the perfect child. At some point, we are continuing to choose that label, and we can take it off. We could totally take it off. I don't know. Am I just talking smack?
No, you are so solid, and so I love that we assign meaning. Like, I love that piece of it, because it's what's happening in our head. It's not what's happening outside of us. And so I'm going to answer it real quick, because I know we've got a lot of good comments, but I want to answer what part. For me, it was about fitting in and being accepted. Like, that was a huge piece. And so decisions I was making, and like through the course of grappling with that, but also finding my people and my tribe and leaning into this, I realized that I'm one of one. Like, and you are one of one. You are not one of like the other 10 people that are in the room, and you need to make sure that you look and sound and feel like the same person. That's like, that is not what we're intended to be. And so we are one of one. And so for me, like, embracing and understanding my joy and energy are why people are around me. That's why people listen to me. That's why they do what I want them to do. Like, that is what it is. And that's not what everybody is. And that's not what causes people to get excited and want to say yes to things when they don't even know what they're committing to. Like, that is, if you're around me, that could probably happen. But it's like, I am one of one, and that is what makes me be able to accomplish the things that I'm doing. But it took me so long to let go of the fitting in and to be accepted and to be quiet so that I can make sure that I'm where I'm supposed to, like, all of those things. It was a long time of going, well, I don't have to be, or maybe I won't be in the room, or maybe that's not a place I need to be. Like, I had to start grappling with, okay, all the things that I thought is what I needed to do was keeping me from being able to be me.
Yeah, the song I'm thinking of as you're saying that, Jen, is I Believe the Children Are the Future.
Yes.
Right? Like, all I needed was to believe in me. This whole time I was doing acrobatics and twisting and contorting myself so that people would accept me. And the reality was I hadn't accepted myself.
Yes.
And once I did, then it didn't matter anymore. Super powerful. Steve Martin, chief marketeer, says, what do you think about this, Jen? Can't help but think there may be someone listening, the lurkers, that would never answer this question for the omniverse to see. You think that's true or false?
We know that because, I mean, that's part of the reason that Jesse and I are here, and part of the reason that we continue to talk about the things we talk about on purpose is that we know that there's not many spaces specifically that ask the questions and have people that talk about this type of content, but we also know that there are people that have shared some things, very scary, very like, oh, let me answer this. And they've never said it out loud. Like, we know that. And some people see it and they watch it and they follow up and they go, hey, what's going on with it? Like, we know. So the risk is you got people watching you, got people paying attention to you. What choices are you still willing to make?
Yeah. Yes, it will be okay. I promise you. Now, Jeremy has a comment that I think is important to touch on, right? He says he's still working through some old school looks. However, from blue collar welder to office was hard, still learning and polishing edges, right? And what I like about this is that is a reality, right? Mm-hmm. Like, in the world that we are building, mine specifically, I have a lot more leeway to do whatever the hell I want and dress however I want, etc. But I still conform, right? I still wear pants when I go do an improv. That facilitated a partnering session earlier this week. I was wearing pants, right? And so this is not to say screw the world, just run wild 100%. There is value to conforming to social norms. And you can do that while also embracing yourself and giving yourself permission to be more of you, and it will be okay. And more so, it'll be more valuable, because like you said, you are one of one. Yep. And your voice, if you ain't sharing it, that is absent from the experience, from the shared experience.
And I want to add, and will you pull Jeremy's? It doesn't matter, any message that he wrote up there. Don't be tricked, because whatever Jeremy has, that photo that he has on LinkedIn, like, he's working on that polished look. He's got an office. He's got to make sure, but that is not. I mean, when you see him and where he's at and what he's doing every single day, like that, again, I thought it was a Halloween costume at first, but it's not Halloween yet, because he is in there. And I love that he's balancing these two things. You look at his content and it's like blue collar, in the weeds, in the field, doing the things, but also the emotional stuff and in the cultural part of it and stuff. And so, like, again, don't get tricked because you see a photo or you see one thing. Like, again, make sure you're engaging with these people and you're talking to them.
Yes. Oh man, we got some good ones here.
I know.
Mr. Douglas says, do not let people define who you are. I fought that for years. Right now, what's interesting, Douglas has done. He's a builder, entrepreneur, like done some freaking amazing things. And I believe that breaking through that is what contributes to that, right? Because we start learning, like, oh, they don't have it all figured out. Oh, I can just try things, right? I don't have to live by their definitions. I can make my own definition, and accept the consequences, right? Because we've talked about this many times. Some people will decide they don't like you anymore. They're not getting the same value they used to get from you because you've changed your identity, or you've grown and you're taking more risk, or you stop putting up with their crap, whatever. You might lose them.
And that's okay.
It's okay. It's totally worth the risk. James Gable.
Yes.
Mr. James. He says, and actually, he just recently released a podcast episode, and they touch on the idea of change fatigue, and that it's more a leadership problem. There's no such thing as change fatigue. That was my takeaway from it. Anyways, if you want some insight, he interviewed somebody. They go over that on the Uncommon Communicator. But James says, I had to give up my perceived view of comfort and security, left $1 billion company to do the thing I love, and doing the thing that will and is changing the industry. What do you think about this perceived view of comfort and security, Jen?
Well, you and I talk a lot about our purpose and our passion and the reason we do what we do and our mission and things like that. Like, we talk a lot about that. And a lot of people can go, I want to leave the world a better place. And people say a lot of big things. But a lot of the stuff that you and I talk about is that purpose and that passion of like healing the hurt, making it less hard. Like it's not this overarching making the construction industry better. It's the construction industry currently has a lot of people that are hurting, a lot of people that are working so hard, and no one is going, well, let's like acknowledge this. Let's talk about this. Let's like have a conversation to see, can we make that life better? Or, hey, let's look at what's happening right here. Is there a way to make that a little bit easier? Is there something we can do to get them home 30 minutes earlier? Like those are intentional things that like you have to care about that. And you have to care about the person that is happening to more than the profits and the ROI and the bottom line and the, you know, all of that stuff. It matters, but you have to care about the human more. And
yeah,
that's scary because again, there's a lot of things that have to do with the numbers and the metrics that, you know, keep people afloat and keep things running. And there's enough people focusing on those things that we don't have to.
100%.
That's my take on that.
Yeah, no, I'm with it. You know, I believe, or rather I've decided that comfort and convenience are my greatest enemies because they keep me trapped. And the decisions, the risks that I've taken to start my own business, quit the full-time job, do all the things like podcasts, books, blogs, content, all of them cause me to release comfort and convenience. And as a result of doing that, my freaking life is amazing. Like this morning I did my 3-mile run and I'm like, man, this is freaking awesome. Like just never could have imagined it being this way had I held on to the comfort and convenience of things that are out there. I would be wearing pants every day, and that's not fun for me. All right. Our brother Milo says, for me, I think I would have to let go of my role as stability provider for my family.
That's scary.
100%. 100%. You know, I remember conversation I had with my old man, you know, grown up, or I'm already grown up. Well, not grown up, but I'm older now. And we were talking about him. He worked a lot. He was traveling. He did a lot of stuff. And he was getting defensive about, well, I had to work to give you all the things you wanted. And I'm like, yeah, Dad, but what I wanted was to hang out with you. That's what I wanted. You wanted me to have, you know, clothes or whatever it was. And it was, you know, it was one of those moments where he's like, oh shit, I missed it. Right. And so back to what Milo's point is of being providing the security for the family. I respect and honor that. But how many times, or maybe here's the question, how many times have we put enormous amounts of energy and focus into a thing for others and never asked them if that's what they wanted? Does that sound at all familiar, Jen?
Yes, of course. As a parent who is trying to give your kids a better life than you had and doing all the things that in your mind, I was underserved as a child because someone was caring for me and taking care of me and doing all the things, working 3 jobs, all the things that I had to grow up super fast because of being at home and all that, like all the things that I know that I wish I could have had. It's now to give my kids the opportunities and the things. Like I have no doubt that there is a gap there between what I need to give my kids because I didn't have it versus what they want.
Yeah. Yes. Oh, it's tough, right? We it's worth the inspection. Go a little deeper, ask, find out, right? It's super valuable. Maya says parenting equals the ultimate leadership role and the toughest one to navigate. And I love, Maya, that you said that, because I hear people in our industry, superintendents, foremen, it's like leaders out there, talk about, I'm tired of babysitting. You're not babysitting. Like, you just don't like freaking being a leader. Because parenting, being with kids, is keeping them safe, teaching them the skills that will help them grow and be successful, and watching them do dumb shit. Mm-hmm. It is
letting not even watching them, letting them do dumb stuff.
Letting them,
because that's how they're going to learn.
Yep.
That's the hardest thing. And just for me, knowing what's about to happen and having to allow it to happen, because that is how they're going to remember and learn.
Yeah. They got to feel the pain.
Yes.
Oh, all right. So Brent, who has all the answers and he has it all figured out, he is telling us, when people ask me about going out on their own, I say, do it sooner rather than later. It's hard as hell, but you'll never regret it. I know there are many things to consider, but overall, I encourage them to go for it. I echo that. Like, you know, I'm a obsessive reader or listener, for those that judge me because I don't read freaking hard books. And I've always listened and consumed stuff, right? Now, before I started my business, it was like reading for entertainment, because I would get good concepts and good ideas, like, oh, this is good, this is cool, this is useful, and I would quote it and try to sound fancy because I read Adam Grant and freaking Brene Brown, but I really didn't do a whole lot with the stuff. Now, when I read something, I'm like, oh, I need to put that into practice. This is what I needed in my, like, it changes everything. The rate at which I learn, how committed I am, how decisive I am around, or disciplined rather, around what I put focus and energy towards. And I've learned massive amounts of things. Now, is it scary? Yeah. But it's okay, because I got a plan B. If this don't work out, I'll be table dancing for money, baby. And now, you know, I think we'll be doing that.
I do want to say, Jesse, that we just have a couple minutes until 9 o'clock. So if you're out there listening and you're consuming, not consuming, questioning, it doesn't matter. Drop an emoji, I don't care what it is, in the comments, and that will put you in the drawing for the drawing, that the randomizer we're going to do at 9, that gets you more time with Jesse and I.
Yeah. So let's go to the next question, Jen. Okay. What do you say?
Well, we have two. Let me see. So again, we just had 2 really big comments pop in. So, and then can we go to the comments?
Okay. Let me go. Yeah. Let me find them. So Steve Martin says, oh yes, accepting ourselves fully, who we have exactly become to this very moment, makes us perfect, Kirby. Yes, there's goodness, weirdness, emptiness, winning, and losing, all rolled up into a messy awesomeness. Now we get the chance to move from identity to destiny. Okay, like that's
chief marketeer right there. He's bringing it.
Yeah, that's pretty damn poetic, man. That's a freaking good one. Thank you, Steve. And then we got Miss Elizabeth. What's up, sister? Oh, she's made it through another summer.
She did. She jumped in right at the last.
Oh my God. She says, one of the blessings of owning my business is that I get my kids involved to spend quality time. I treat my employees how I would want to get treated. And Elizabeth's a baller. Girl, glad to see you again. It's been a while, and I know you're doing big, amazing things out there. I just say take the risk, right? Like, if you have an idea, you want to do a side gig, take the risk. If you want to start a new project, you want to learn a new skill, take the risk. It's absolutely worth it. Now, and actually, I'm going to share my framework of how I kind of decide to get past the kindergarten metrics. And when I say kindergarten metrics, I want to keep it personal. The amount of money and or the amount of time a new thing or a risk is going to cost me. Because if I only looked at it from the perspective or weighed the risk in terms of time and money, most of the things I would not do. But I also look at it from how much could I learn? What's the likelihood that I will build a new skill that is transferable or that will help me build different connections in my brain? And how many people could this path put me in touch with that are not currently in my circle? And so when I look at that, and then the money and the time, it's like, yeah, it's going to cost money and time, but these are massive. I'm going to go do that. Now, if it's weak sauce over here in terms of what skills I can learn, people that I can connect with, and et cetera, and the money's like, affordable, it's like, why would I even do that bullshit? Or I could go watch a YouTube video. I don't need to go and sign up for an improv class. I don't need to go and take the new whatever, learn the new freaking GPT or build agents or whatever it is, if it's not going to give me a skill that I can put into my toolbox and carry forward, or introduce me to new human beings and help me expand my network and build my self-awareness. Like, I don't need that crap. Am I just being selfish,
Oh,
Jen?
you're spot on. You're literally got people just commenting because I'm sure it's resonating with all of them, but it like you get, and the way I summarize it, you get to choose your hard. You get to choose your hard. It's too hard to get up out of bed and go run 3 miles. It's also hard to look in the mirror and not be happy. Choose your hard. Like,
yes,
every day you get to choose. This is good. This hard or this hard. The effort it's going to take, or the commiserating you get to do. Choose your hard. Choose it.
Yes.
Like, you get to sit there and be miserable and be like, it's not fair. Like, that's hard. Or you can go and make different choices, make a little more effort, make a little more sweat. Choose your hard.
Yeah. And so we're fixing to jump into the randomizer. But I want to throw these 2 wise nuggets up for people to like write these down.
Yes.
Mr. Douglas Berry says, we only have one life. We might as well make it epic.
Yes.
And I'm gonna put some teeth on it. If your life ain't epic, it's your damn fault.
Yes. Yes.
Brent Darnell says, every decision you have ever made has led to this present moment in time. If you want to be somewhere else, all you have to do is start making different decisions. I like, yeah. Jennifer says, yes, choose your heart every day. Or choose your squirt every day. All right. It is time for the randomizer.
Yes. Okay. So again, we're going to get a name that's going to get to come hang out with Jesse and I and an amazing group of people, a lot of them in the comments, for the next 2 visits we have coming up. So just let's see what happens.
No, let's go. Man, we got a bunch of awesome.
I know. I'm so excited.
Who's going to get it? Who's going to get it? Jim! Yes. I got to send the invite to Jim. Actually, I think I owe, oh, darn, I forgot who won it last time. I owe her an invite too. Yesenia. Yesenia won last time.
Okay.
Sorry, I'll get them both on the same invite. Boom, bam, Jim, congratulations. We will see you at the Emotional Bungee Jumpers Cultivation Crew. And actually, Jim, since you are like, you have been victimized in those sessions before, you can use it for yourself, or you could pass it on to somebody else you'd like to abuse. Just let me know. We'll make that happen. I'd love it if you were there, though. That'd be super, super awesome. All right, Jen. So I got to do the after party linking thing.
Okay.
So should we post another question while I do that?
Yes.
All right. Here's the next question. Let me do my homework here. So if you would carry the load while I'm pretending to be busy, that would help.
Okay, so the next question is, and this is for all of you that are out there. Hello, Christopher. I see you. You just jumped in right last minute. What is one risk you know you need to take? And what is the smallest step that you could take today? So again, I'm gonna poke a little bit because I know, like Jim, you have some stuff that you've been grappling with, and I've seen that I think on our last live stream. And so, just what is one thing that you know a risk you need to take, and it's what is the smallest step you could take today? And so I'm going to throw that back out there. So those of you that are like, I'm trying to do this, I'm trying to do that, think about that. And then I'm going to, again, I don't have a big one right now that I'm trying to like run into, but I do know that I am constantly struggling with the risk of just say yes. Like just say yes, and not in the context of work. So I have learned to put boundaries in place and do better when it comes to work to be able to protect it. But just say yes when it comes to my family and things that that require my time and specifically my money. And I am very protective of it. And I have done a really good job to ensure that I have things in place. But I also know I've lost out on some things because of choices that I've made. And so I am actively right now, what's the risk? The risk is that I may not have as much money in the bank. I may lose money. It may be wasted, maybe thrown in the trash like the nachos. But the smallest step is like to be able to do it anyway and to watch the joy and the happiness on the faces of my kids. And so again, I'm going to reference this and then I'm going to throw it back over to you, Jesse. But this ran across my feed and it like hit me in the face. And it said, real wealth isn't yachts, fancy jets, or fancy cars. Real wealth is taking a walk on a Thursday at 2 p.m., going to the gym at 10 a.m. on a Monday, having lunch with my kids. And I'm like, if you're in a place where you can do those things, you are in a place way different than a lot of people.
Yes.
So that's me answering that question, Jesse. What about you?
In terms of like, this is a hard one because, and I know it's going to come across as arrogant, but I feel like I take all the risk. Like the risk is not a question. Like it's an easy thing for me, right? I'm just going to decide to do the thing. It's more of continuing to take the steps. And so, for example, I'll give 2 examples. One, you already know my mission is to leave the construction industry better than I found it, in the way that I care to do so. I know I can't do that by myself. And so I need people-centered leaders that understand if they value themselves and better honor themselves, they will be better for the people they serve. And so I started the Construction Leadership Lab to nurture and support people individually. There's some people that are like, okay, so what's the assignment? What are we supposed to do? It's like, take care of yourself. Use this as a resource to recharge your batteries, tap into the experience that's available in the community, and then go do better. Like that's the charge. And so for me, like the step is, and actually coincidentally, it's been in test phase, right? Like I've got the test pilots in there to like go through all the clunkiness and the messiness, et cetera, so that I can get feedback and polish it up and make it easier and better for new people. So today, anybody that signed up for the first to know list, they're getting an email if they haven't gotten it already, like sign up, the doors are open. And then at the end of the month, it'll be open up for super general sign up. And so for me, it's the small step, right? Like it might suck. Like right now, the risk is, let's just say, 500 people sign up. That would be amazing. But then it's like, oh shit, how do we manage the calls now? Because we have calls every other week and 500 people on a call, like there are some things. But instead of worrying about designing the hell out of it, prepping, it's like, man, let's just freaking do the thing. And I'll adjust, do we add a call? Do we do break? I don't know. I will find out. And so for me, it's just, I think the key point for me and for folks that are like, no, understand the value of taking the risk. It's just, what is the next, have you identified your next steps, rightest steps, and take them. If not, and risk is really, really scary, and you've been pumping the brakes and chewing on it and researching and like all that bullshit, what's the one action you can take? Well, here's another way. If you've been kicking it around in your head, say it out loud. Mm-hmm. If you've already said it out loud, like even to the mirror, say it out loud to another human being. These are the small steps you can take. These count. Say it out loud to another human being. If you've already said it out loud to another human being, write it down. If you've already written it down, say it out loud to another group, to a group of human beings, right? Like these are small steps you can take in actualizing and making progress on the thing that you've been avoiding. And that don't cost you nothing. And at every point, you say it out loud, say it to another person, write it down, say it to a group of people, the likelihood of you actually doing the damn thing increases. Yep. That's what I think, Jen.
And just and if you need it, but you're not sure, but you know that if I say it, just going to give you a little warning. If you choose for the person you share it with to be Jesse, like it's not going away. Like if you choose for Jesse to be the person that you're like, hey, I'm thinking about this thing, it's not going away.
Well, I want to clarify, unless you tell me to back the hell off. Like you can tell me that. You've done that. Like, Jesse, I don't care about that shit anymore. Like, oh, okay, done. But if you don't, I can't help it. I want to know where you are. Oh man. Okay. So Jen, what do you think? There's a lot of comments coming in.
I know there's a couple of people that answered.
Yes. All right. So Sarah says, I'm taking a lot of small steps. And here's folks, if you're out there lurking and still like, this is evidence. Like, latch on to these people that are doing things, because you could steal their draft, steal their run. Sarah says, I'm taking a lot of small steps. I want to challenge myself to finish one of my books I have started. Boom, done, out in the universe. James says, I took the small step a long time ago, which was to make one decision without needing absolute certainty and to trust myself enough to take it. Bam, done. Keep it going, baby. Brent says, my whole career has been filled with risk. In 2000, what I wanted to do was pretty insane. Sometimes I embrace it and sometimes I fight it. Life is better when I embrace it, and I love my life and love my work. And in case y'all don't know, Brent is like the OG around emotional intelligence in the construction industry. It's popular now. He's been doing that shit for a long time. So he took a massive risk. Maya says, a risk I am learning to take is probably being more willing to not be likable. Oh, yes, girl. Hard to explain because I don't care, but in some ways I think I do. Maya, I'm going to say it's not that you don't care. It's you have become extra clear about what you absolutely care about, and the rest is just static.
Yep.
Oh my God. Doug says there is some truth to speaking it into existence. Yeah. And I think it's progressive, right? Say it, write it, blah, 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 so on and so forth. And then I'll stop moving my jaw after Miss J Mar's point here. She says, one risk I know I need to take is being even bolder about the problem my company solves. Even when it challenges systems people have trusted for decades, there's always a risk of being misunderstood when you lead differently. Amen. But staying quiet would cost more because people are still being hurt by a broken system. Yes. The smallest step I could take today is to make the call. That exactly. Send the message or ask for the meeting I have been hesitating to pursue. Growth often begins with one uncomfortable. It cuts off at that. But I think that is a perfect way to wrap this bad boy up. And is there an after party today, Jen?
We do have an after party today. So what we have, and Jesse posted it all into the comments, and you can find it on, I think, my page and maybe No BS page and Jesse's page, but it's a click. You don't have to be on camera. You can be if you want to, but it's just all of us getting to be in a space where Jesse and I are not the only ones talking. And so, and really we talk a lot about conversations that happened on this call, and then you get to share and y'all get to talk with each other. And so we do have that, and the clicks, all the clicks are in the comments and in the places. And if you're struggling, message somebody. I'm sure they can get it to you.
Yes. So hope to hear you there here in about 5 minutes after we do our newly fresh, super exciting choreography. Jen, you got the music?
Yeah, I thought you were bringing the music.